What's up, everyone? Arctic here, and today I wanted to talk about the systems that I plan on getting because a lot of people have been asking me about next gen. Are you getting PlayStation 4? Are you getting Xbox One? What's your choice? For the most part, Skyless and I have kind of covered this in Frag Logic. Again, I don't know how many people are watching that on every week to week on Tuesday, but we've already detailed this in a lot of long-winded explanations, but I'll try to make it pretty short and concise. I do plan on getting both systems. I actually think both Skyless and I plan on getting both systems, but I'm getting the Xbox One first. And I'm not I wouldn't call myself a fanboy in the regards to the systems. I've always maintained since I was like 10 years old, multiple systems in my household. Growing up with my brother, we always had either one or the other. Sometimes we had both. So, we had the original PlayStation, also had Nintendo 64. We had, Dreamcast, Sega Genesis, Nintendo. Well, I mean, we had everything, right? We had the original Xbox. He had PlayStation 2. Then I got a PlayStation 2. So, it just was a thing where, we just played, we were gamers, and that's what I think a lot of people are. I enjoy playing a lot of different games, and some games drive me to pick up a certain system. I will say that one of the things that started to kind of rear up as I got older was I started to look at games because, it becomes an investment, right? Once you get past a certain age, you're not going to be like, oh, mom or dad, hey, can you get me that? And they're like, you're too old for all that. You can get one game, or you can rent a game. That's about all you can get. That's the type of thing I had to kind of worry about. So I had to make very smart purchases, rentals and re-reviews and all that stuff when I was younger to kind of make educated guesses on what would be the best game for me. And through that process, I started to find certain, I guess, design flaws with either the controllers or the games or whatever, and they would make me make more educated guesses on my purchases down in the future. So with the Xbox, if you guys remember the original Xbox controller, the one that used to hurt your hands after you got done playing, I think I spent a lot of time playing, was it Halo, with that controller, and then the S-Pad came out. It sounds like that's about the right timing. But my hands would hurt after I got done with Halo sessions. And I remember I took a big break from that and started playing my PlayStation again because I was really sick and tired of the controller. And so I went back to playing Madden and a couple other RPGs that I like to play on my PlayStation, mainly the Final Fantasy games. But after a while, my teammates, they were kind of asking, where my brother and I were. And so we went back on the Xbox, got some S-Pad controllers, and we started playing, I don't remember what all the games we were playing on, at the time, but Halo 2, I think, is one that we played quite a bit of using those controllers, and they felt a lot better for shooters. And there was a lot of games at that time that we were playing with those controllers that felt really good for shooters. And I never really had that same type of feel with the PlayStation controllers, specifically for shooters. Now, you fast forward to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, I spent so much time kind of focused on shooters with the Xbox that when I picked back up a PlayStation 3 and try to use it for a shooter, like, it feels really bad. It just feels really bad. And I don't think I've ever gotten over that from, shifting back on the Xbox. And now, I've had a hand in making the Sabertooth. Like, I'm very adamant now and very critical of controllers, and the PlayStation controller is just a shitty controller. It has a shitty design for shooters. I tested it at PAX, I played with it extensively, and I still kind of have that same general sentiment about the controller. Now, the Xbox One controller isn't that much better. If you guys heard my kind of discussion on it on Frag Logic, the analogs on it are really small. So it makes me feel like I need baby hands in order to use it. So, there's some very critical things. They might be small to most people, but for me, they're very, very important because I spend so much time with competitive gaming. And I feel like I need the absolute best peripherals so that I can perform at my absolute best. It's just the same. It's like the same with your football cleats or your shoulder pads or whatever in football. Like, they make you feel like you can perform better. And so, for me, that I think that was the main factor after all of the, the features with the systems kind of got better defined between both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But, when it comes down to it, I'm about design, right? And what feels good. And the PlayStation controllers never felt really good for me for shooters, which has been, if I look at my game library on PC, Xbox, barring the PlayStation 3, which was purchased for Christie, that's the majority of my games are all shooters. And so, I'm not going to sit there and suffer through playing games because I don't like the controller. That being said, again, I do plan on picking up a PlayStation 4, but it won't be shooter centric. A lot of the games that I have there, like Uncharted, which is an action platformer, there's some shooting involved, but if you feel like the shooting mechanics in Uncharted are superb, I think you need to play a couple other games and then reevaluate that, specifically for third-person shooters, because Gears of War blows that away when it comes to the shooter mechanics of the game. Now, software aside, like I said, I feel like they're about even. Some of the things that I was interested in on Xbox One, dedicated servers, which will probably be on PlayStation 4 with Gaikai. The streaming thing with Twitch, that was a big point of contention early on. The ability to record gameplay, I think, is important, but it's probably not something I will really use, considering I have game capture cards out the wazoo. And these are all features that are kind of overlapping between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I think the one other thing that has really pushed me over the edge for an Xbox One has probably been Titanfall. Everything else has seemed like kind of dull. If there is Halo 5 or whatever when that comes out, which I am a really big Halo fan in the sense that I like the story behind Master Chief and following him throughout these games. But there's also that X factor, I guess, of Gears of War, which, I don't plan on playing a whole lot next gen, but the fact that it could be an exclusive also is more appealing to me than on the PlayStation 4, and any of their IPs that are shooters. There's just not anything that's really compelling there. Now, if you look at what has traditionally been big time mega sellers, they're almost all in the FPS genre. So keeping that in mind, with the information that we recently received, I think it was a couple weeks ago, basically several news outlets posted on Sony, I believe, engineers, designers, kind of speaking on the design of the PlayStation controller. And they initially were like PlayStation 4 controller, and they were initially saying, hey, we're going to mimic the design of the Xbox controller. Why? Because it was shooter friendly, right? Those are the games that are actually pushing big numbers when it comes to sales. So I guess to not think that is an important reason, I think it's obviously you might want to reevaluate that a little bit. And if you haven't read on that, I highly encourage that you do. I'll actually put a link in the description. Links save lives. Hey, I'm back saying links save lives. No, seriously though, check that description. And there's some good information there. Ultimately, basically, Sony decided to go with their more traditional design because they didn't want to alienate their existing users. That's completely understandable. So, I hope this is a very good, thorough explanation of why I am getting the Xbox One first. Again, it really doesn't matter because I'm getting both systems, and I'm also playing games on PC. But I've gotten this question so many times, and people kind of want to argue about, well, you shouldn't get this or you shouldn't get that. Listen, I really don't care. I don't have a strong opinion of why you should get one over the other. I know that for the FPS genre, I prefer the Xbox controller design more than the PlayStation controller design, and that's a big factor for me because most of the games I play are shooters. I'm not saying that one game system has better games than the other. Not saying that at all. They're excellent games on both systems. Again, I just said Uncharted series is phenomenal for the PlayStation. That's one of the driving factors of why I'm going to be getting a PlayStation 4 in anticipation of playing some more Uncharted. So, just make educated decisions about what purchase you want to make. You're not going to sway me. I'm too seasoned for all that. There's features that are there for both, hardcore, casual, if somewhere in between. everything under the sun on both systems is there. They're pretty much identical at this point. Don't even feel like getting into spec wars. Don't care because I could go PC master race on you and we can just end the discussion. No, but seriously, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and until the next time, I'll catch you later. Peace. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for future vids on my channel.